It's time for a Titan. Let's be a review. It's time for a Titan. Let's be a review.
Titanzed here, back to do another video review. This time going to be reviewing... one second, guys. What the hell is this thing? A light box stage. Why do we need a light box stage? What do you mean people have been complaining about the lighting in the reviews? Since when? Since the Titanfall review. Oh. Well, why do we need that? Air of professionalism? Since when has this channel ever cared about professionalism? Oh, just use it. Oh, right, you... son of a... Fine, I'll just use the stupid box. Right. Unfortunately, I've been told by the managerial staff of my channel I must now use this light box. Really surprising since I'm the managerial staff and the reviewer. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, Titans Return Chromedome. Yeah, I picked this guy up a while ago. I've been meaning to do the review for the Deluxe Wave 2s for a while now. They just kind of completely passed me by accident because Wave 3 just kind of hit me like a wrecking ball. So, yeah. So I'm trying to play a little bit of catch-up with some of these figures. So, yes, as you can see, we do indeed have Chromedome with Stylor, his Titan Master companion. And I really like this figure. It's not too bad. Stylor himself is pretty awesome, if a little underpainted. And that little black you're seeing under his chin is a piece of electrical tape. I've found that trying to use the finished floor polish to tighten the ball joint isn't the best of ideas. And falling back on one of my old favorites, the electrical tape seems to work pretty well. Though, make sure you line that electrical tape up real well when you put the faceplate back on and when you put the head back in, the faceplate back on. Otherwise, you end up looking like Stylor's got a scarf underneath his chin. That's not a bad look, in my opinion. Vehicle mode isn't too bad, although the difference between paint and plastic is a little obvious. A little bit more in person. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking that up, but the difference between some of the browns in the plastic compared to paint is pretty apparent. He also does come with this really lovely collector card. I really am loving the collector cards from Titan Return. Very high quality stock card like you'd find on Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. And it has the stats on the back. This is something I want, hopefully Hasbro is going to continue with the future for their collector generation series, because this is a wee bit of awesome. Now, talk about the guns. The guns irk me. I don't know if you can tell. And it's not showing up on camera, but in person, the hole where that gun is sitting has stress marks on it already. In fact, I'm going to take that out because I'm worried that's going to break. I'd love to show you, well, I guess I could show you without the gun in front, but yeah, there's stress marks on that this big gun in the hole there. Word of warning. I changed mine from the original by cutting off a piece of plastic that was between... yeah, you can kind of see, if I can get some more light on it, you can kind of see it. There was a little bit of plastic about 2/3 way up the handle that went up to the base of the gun. I cut it off thinking that was unnecessary. I see what it was necessary for now. It stops you from stressing out the plastic too much. So, yeah, don't be like me. Don't be stupid and cut that off. Leave that be. So, yeah. you can put the Titan Master in the gun, and for whatever reason, and I can't fathom why, you can have him up here piloting the gun on top of the car rather than driving it. Speaking of driving it, let's do that. Oh, get the Titan Master in here. Come on. Oh yeah, forgot. This is one of those ones you don't have to lay his legs flat. You can actually sit him in like a normal person sits in a car. But yes, he can sit in there and sit in there really well. If my only complaints about the car mode are, one, the way the big gun attaches, I kind of wish there was, I know there would be easy to put a peg up here just due to clear translucent plastic and, you know, 2 pieces of plastic back here. But I wish there were just something a little better than these 2 little tabs, because every time I put that on there, I feel like it's going to break right off. So, yeah. And do be warned, there are some plastic teeth that hold these 2 halves of the windscreen together, the windscreen and roof together, that have a tendency to break off. So, be mindful. The only other complaint I would have is, for whatever reason, his wheels are translucent. And I can't understand why they need to be translucent. It seems like that would be something that would make it more easier for the figure to break. But, what you gonna do? Other than that, I think the vehicle mode's great, and I'll be back in just a second to do robot mode. Totally forgot to do a comparison. My bad. Forgot to do the comparison with Generation 1. Whoops! Smooth, Titan, smooth. So yeah, I will say, if there's one thing paint-wise that I wish this one did, was put the little red from this part and paint this part red. He does it in his robot mode, but he doesn't do it obviously here in the vehicle mode, and I think that's a little annoying. But what you gonna do? So, okay. I swear I'll be right back with robot mode and the comparison in robot mode in just a second. And we're back. Alright, we have Chromedome in his robot mode, and he is looking just as awesome as ever. Now, I will admit, he is using a lot of Combiner Wars engineering, particularly in the legs and the arms and the hood. So, if you've had a Combiner Wars Vehicle Deluxe, you pretty much know the transformation for Chromedome. The only added thing is probably the chest bit, and the Titan Master. Everything else is a pretty similar affair. But overall, I think he's definitely awesome, definitely worth picking up. Now, good comparison between him and his Generation 1 self. Let's see, move him back a little bit more. And, wow. I have to admit, they did translate the Generation 1 mold pretty well into the Generation's design. I will say probably, the only significant thing, I wish they could have added it, but I understand why, because particularly in the deluxe size range, it'd be impossible to put in, but would be the old G1 stat reader. I really wish that these guys could have those, but I know why they didn't do it. It's just not big enough. I kind of wish the leader class figures could still do it, but trying to pull that off with Soundwave is designed and Optimus is designed, yeah, it'd be kind of impossible anyway. But what can I say? Headmasters were always my favorite type of Transformers. They were just something awesome, unique in my opinion, and I really love to see them brought back. And they get, like I said, an entire series worth of these guys in one go is just fantastic. So yeah. But yeah, my only complaint about the toy overall, besides just what obviously is Combiner War joints, so things look a little broken up, And obviously, he had loose hip joints, but they've almost all of them have had loose hip joints. What you gonna do? So, just a quick dab of floor polish or a little bit of electrical tape in the ball socket solves that problem instantly. My biggest worry is in here in the back of the legs. Let's see if I can't get it to focus on. There we go. You see that? Those are pin joints. And that's all translucent plastic. Guess what that's going to do in 5 years? Yeah. That's a downside to this figure, is that because his roof was all translucent plastic, it's going to break down in a little while, and that sucks. It kind of makes me almost wish they hadn't used it and just stuck with just painted plastic. But, oh well. One other thing I wanted to show you guys before we leave is that this figure has just big enough holes in his hands to wield his Generation 1's guns. So yeah, if you guys were if someone out there is a little salty about this guy not having the G1 guns, you can give him the G1 guns and give him his more G1 look. That's pretty cool. I will say this: be careful when putting them in. Especially if you're using G1 guns in the Titan Master Return or Titan Return figures. While Chromedome won't have a problem, at least mine doesn't. I have heard of Brainstorms, Titan's Return Brainstorm, and the G1 Brainstorm's guns breaking their hands. So just be a little cautious when trying this out on other G1 figures who have 5mm sized pegs on their guns. But other than that, this is Titan Zed saying I'll see you when I see you.